Good morning, students. So in the last class we discussed about charge flowing through the switch problems we solved, and heat related also. In that case we solved that heat produced in that circuits also. So now in today class we are going to discuss about this first the force between the two plates of this capacitor, and after completion of this I will introduce about this dielectrics, right? And so first let us see about the force between the two plates of the capacitor. So you know capacitor means that two plates, one plate will carries the positive charge, and other plate will carries the negative charge, right? And so definitely there exists some attractive force between those two plates. So now we need to calculate the magnitude of that force, and on what factors that force between the two plates will depend. So we need to calculate these parameters there. So now I am taking the two plates over there here. So that means I am taking the two plates. One plate is say carrying some positive charge, and other plate carries this negative charge here, right? And so this is say plus Q and this is minus Q. And the separation between these two plates is suppose say D, and A is the area of this each plate here. So that means the separation between these two plates is I am taking it as D, and the area of this each plate is A. So now here we need to write the attractive force between those two plates. How much force will be there between those two plates? So for that what we can consider is we can consider the electric field produced by this one of the plate here. And you know generally when compared to this size of this plate, the separation between the plates is very small. Even though here in the diagram I am drawing it as some big value, the D value, but D value is practically very small value. It's of order millimeters or micrometers, that millimeters to micrometers range it will be. And so that D value is very small when compared to that of area of the plate or size of the plate, means you can take that plate as an infinitely charged plate, right? And so that then we can write this, suppose I am assuming like this plate is producing some electric field, and in that electric field this charge Q is present or minus Q is present. Or we can assume the reverse assumption also. That means this plate is producing, this charge is producing some field, and so in that field this charge is present. And so now let us write the electric field produced by this one of the plate here. And you know as it is we are taking it as an infinite plate, the electric field due to this will be uniform and it will be along this direction here. So electric field due to this one of the plate. So previously when we were deriving an expression for this parallel plate capacitance, capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor, we calculated first electric field, net electric field in between the two plates, that is net electric field. So electric field due to positive plate and electric field due to negative plate. But here we need to calculate electric field due to only one of the plate here, because we are going to calculate force acting on the other plate. And so I am taking this field due to this positive charge. So field due to positively charged plate. So field due to positively charged plate E1 can be written as, which you can write it as sigma by 2 epsilon naught, right? Because that is a field due to an infinite charged plane. So if sigma is the surface charge density, then we can write like that. If you are calculating the net field, then net field means field due to this positive negative charge also we need to consider, which is along this direction. So that means same value, sigma by 2 epsilon naught plus sigma by 2 epsilon naught, which will give us sigma by epsilon naught. So don't confuse with the net field and field due to one plate, right? So this is the field due to one plate. And so now this can also be expressed as this is Q by 2a epsilon naught we can write, because that sigma I can express it as Q by a, right? So this is our sigma meaning here, so we can express that electric field like this. And so now that force on that negatively charged plate, we can write this as the force on minus Q, that means negatively charged plate. So this force I can write this as E1 into Q. So that force will be an attractive force. That means this charge is, I can consider this charge is present in the field, in this field here. so that this field at this point is along this direction, the field is along this direction even, and so this is opposite charge here, so that force will be along this direction here. So that force on this plate will be along this direction, so that is a negative attractive force here, the force on this negatively charged plate. So just we are writing the magnitude here. I mentioned already that force is an attractive force, and so we can write this force expression as F is equal to, so Q by 2A epsilon naught into Q, or this value we can write this as Q square by 2A epsilon naught. So that is the force between the two plates of a capacitor. You may calculate the force on the positive charge, positively charged plate, or you may calculate the force on the negatively charged plate. So that force, amount of force will that remain same there. So that is the amount of force, magnitude of force, attractive force acting between the two plates here. So mention that. So before this only mention that. Consider a parallel plate capacitor. Consider a parallel plate capacitor having area of each plate A separated by a distance D. Let Q be the charge on the capacitor. Let Q be the charge on the capacitor. As both the plates of the capacitor carries opposite charge, there exists attractive force between the two plates. There exists attractive force between the two plates, so which can be calculated as follows. So then write this calculation here, and so from this expression we can conclude some points here. So let us write those points here. So from this what we can consider here is when the charge of the capacitor remains constant, when Q is constant, you can observe this expression here. When Q is constant, then the force between the two plates is independent of this D here. It does not depend on the separation between the two plates. Separation between the two plates means you know already when the D is comparably small, that means when it is comparatively small here. So if your the size of the plate is suppose say some 2 meters area, for example I am taking, and the separation is 1 centimeter. If you are increasing from 1 centimeter to 2 centimeters, then it doesn't affect there. That means D is still small when compared to the top size of the plate. But if the size of the plate is 2 meters and if you are separating by a distance of 10 meters for example, then you can't even apply this formula also, right? So that means in all the cases what we are going to discuss, D is small only when compared to the top size of the plate, right? So then in that case, so that means if you are changing the D value by a small amount, either whether you are increasing the D value or decreasing the D value, there is no change in that force between the two plates. So force between the two plates will remain same, right? So mention that point here. In case of isolated capacitor, so isolated capacitor means, generally what I am saying, isolated capacitor means capacitor is not connected anywhere, and so that the charge on the capacitor remains constant. So that is the meaning of that isolated capacitor. So in brackets mention that in case of isolated capacitor, in brackets mention that charge on the isolated capacitor remains constant. Charge on the isolated capacitor remains constant. So that is in brackets. That is the meaning of or intention of this isolated capacitor. So in case of isolated capacitor, the force between the two plates, is independent of distance between the two plates, right? And so next point, so let us write the next point here. Now suppose if I am maintaining this potential difference remains constant here. If the potential difference between the two plates remains constant, that means here I am taking this capacitor is connected to a cell here. So then it is maintained constant here. Potential difference remains constant. Then how this force will depend here? How the force depends on that separation between them. So now in that case, you need to convert this expression in terms of this potential here, right? So now simply first mention that if the potential difference between the two plates remains constant, if the potential difference between the two plates remains constant, so that means how this potential difference between the two plates remains constant means simply if a battery remains connected in that connected to the capacitor. That means whether you are changing the distance or whether you are maintaining the distance constant and you may introduce the dielectric. So whatever the changes you are doing. So whenever a battery remains constant, these are the two fundamental points you need to remember here. So whenever capacitor is isolated, charge on the capacitor remains constant. Whenever battery remains connected to the capacitor, whatever the changes you are going to do, the potential difference across the capacitor remains constant because that battery will maintain the constant potential difference there, right? And so that means mention that when potential difference between the two plates remains constant, when potential difference between the two plates remains constant, that is when battery remains connected to the capacitor, the force between the two plates can be expressed as, so now let us say this, just I can write this expression as F is equal to, the Q value I can replace it as CV whole square by 2A epsilon naught, right? And so now let us see this. And now the C value I can write this as F is equal to, I can express this as epsilon naught A by D whole square. That means C square value this is. And remaining this V square by denominator 2A epsilon naught I can write here, right? So just I am substituting that C expression, capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. And now let us see this can be written as so epsilon naught A into V square by 2D square, right? And so now that is the expression for this capacitance. Here A epsilon naught, one A epsilon naught will be cancelled, and so only one A epsilon naught will be there. And so now this is the capacitance force between the two plates of the capacitor there. And now you can observe this. You can observe this expression here. When the potential difference remains constant here, it will depend on the distance. If you are changing the distance, then force also changes there. And actually it is inversely proportional to D square we are getting here. So that you can observe here, inversely proportional to D square. So that means once the capacitor charge on the capacitor remains constant, then it is independent of the distance. But when potential difference remains constant, then it depends on the distance here, right? So that is another point you need to remember here. And in this only I can mention like they will ask like work done relation here. So work done, let us see this calculations there, or write it as a next point there. So write that as the next point in that. So that means now if suppose if you are increasing the amount of work done, we need to write. In case of isolated capacitor, first let us discuss. Isolated means charge on the capacitor remains constant. So now suppose this separation is increased here from say D1 to D2. The initial separation is suppose say D1, and now we are increasing from this separation D1 to D2, we are increasing here, right? So this separation we are increasing from D1 to D2. So this is say Q, plus Q and minus Q, and this is also plus Q and minus Q. Charge on the capacitor will remain constant. Now the amount of work done we need to write here. How much amount of work is required to increase the separation from D1 to D2? Can you say how to calculate this amount of work done? So now you can observe this in this case. The force, that means in order to separate this, so observe this here, two forces are acting on this. So one force will be attractive force will be there like this. This is force due to this electric field. And then we need to apply an equal amount of external force here, right? So this is the force due to E means field. Force due to field will be along this direction, and external force we need to apply this will be along this direction. So work done means, you know, the basic definition of the work done is force into displacement. And so now here that force is a constant force since the charge remains constant here. So when the charge remains constant, the force is independent of the separation here. So that force remains constant. When force remains constant, you can write that work done as, so therefore I can write this work done as W is equal to Fs cos theta, we can write. And therefore this is work done. Work done means, work done by the external force only you need to write here. So I can write this as work done by the external force is equal to work done by external into this displacement into cos 0 we need to write. And this displacement also I can write this as d2 minus d1. Right? So that is a expression for this work done. And but here we are displacing this plate very slowly. And so that this F external is equal to force due to this electric field here. So these two are always equal, so that the plate will move with the constant velocity, or we displace that plate very slowly. And therefore this I can write this as force due to field into that separation d2 minus d1 we can write. And force due to field means we can express this equation. So which is nothing but q square by 2a epsilon naught into d2 minus d1, right? So that is the expression for this work done. And if you observe this clearly, what you can say is, if you observe this expression clearly, this is amount of work done is nothing but, I can say, change in potential energy. I can write this as d2 by a epsilon naught as 1 by c2 final capacitance, and d2 by d1 by a epsilon naught as a c1. That means q square by 2c2 or c final minus q square by c initial. So that is final energy minus initial energy. So which is nothing but, we can mention this as change in potential energy we can write here. Final potential energy minus initial potential energy we can write. So mention that. So mention that as the next point. In case of isolated capacitor, the amount of work done in displacing the, amount of work done in increasing the separation between the two plates of a capacitor, very slowly. Increasing the separation between the two plates means we are displacing that very slowly there, is given by which is q square by 2a epsilon naught into d2 minus d1, right? So that is the expression here. So finally, that means whether we are writing either change in potential energy, you can remember, or this is the expression force into displacement method you can write here. So this is the only valid when capacitor is isolated, or it is mentioned like charge on the capacitor remains constant. When charge on the capacitor remains constant, you can use that expressions there. Now suppose I am taking this another case here. When potential difference across the capacitor remains constant, and suppose if they are increasing the separation, the same case if potential difference remains constant here. These two cases are very important in this capacitance here. So one case is when capacitance charge on the capacitor remains constant, that is different case, and the other case is when potential difference across the capacitor remains constant. So charge remains constant once the capacitor is isolated. When it is disconnected from the circuit, then charge on the capacitor will remain constant, and the potential difference remains constant when it is still maintained continuously connected to that cell. So then potential difference across it remains constant here, right? And so now let us see about this that case here when the charge is potential is remains constant. So now I am taking the case like potential difference remains constant and we are increasing this separation here. Suppose let us say this is at a distance of x at any instant, for example. Now we are pulling it by applying some external force here. right? This is positively charged and this is the negatively charged plate here. And so now we mentioned already, like when you are increasing that means when the potential difference remains constant, that force will depend on the distance, right? So we mentioned this as here this F external is equal to F field, so which is given by epsilon naught A into V square by 2 into x square, right? That means as a separation we are taking as x, now that is a force here. And so now here you can observe that that force is variable. So in the previous case force is a constant, now here that force is a variable here. So variable means you can't write directly this Fs cos theta formula, so we need to integrate here, right? So just we need to do this problem by integration. So mention that case there first. When the potential difference across the capacitor remains constant, when the potential difference across the capacitor remains constant, that is the battery remains connected to the capacitor, the battery remains connected to the capacitor, and then we are increasing the separation between the two plates, we are increasing the separation between the two plates of a capacitor slowly, then amount of work done is given by amount of work done, mention this in increasing the separation from D1 to D2, the same case, in increasing the separation from D1 to D2 is given by. And so now I am writing this work done expression here, therefore I can write this work done is equal to integral of F external into dx I can write here. So right, so just let us substitute those values and integrate this. So this is epsilon naught A into V square by 2, it is a constant value. So integral of 1 by x square into dx, and this is from D1 to D2 limits. Right, so that is from D1 to D2 you need to write here and then integrate this. Therefore I can write this W is equal to, you will get like epsilon naught A into V square by 2 minus 1 by x you will get, and limits are from D1 to D2, and therefore this is W is equal to epsilon naught A into V square by 2, and so then this is nothing but 1 by D1 minus 1 by D2, because that negative sign is there here. So right, that is our finally our expression for this potential work done here when potential difference remains constant. So this is the expression, right? So this is the case of that potential difference remains constant, and that is the case of this charge remains constant. And there will be some problems based on this force, either force related or directly they will give the numericals based on this work done here. So you can apply, you can solve like this, that force work done or force related problems. Next, let us see some problems based on this. So now here I am taking a situation like this, a plate. This is suppose a one plate of this capacitor having some charge. and other plate is placed on this table like this, which is fixed to the table here. Now this plate is connected to this string by a pulley arrangement like this. Now here one mass is hanging here. Suppose say this mass of these plates, each plate is M1 I am taking, or let us take it as M2, and this is M1 I am taking here. And suppose say this Q is the separation, Q is the charge on this. Suppose say this is a positively charged plate and this is a negatively charged plate here. So now they are asking like A is the area of cross section and D is the separation between them. Right? If the system remains in equilibrium, they are asking the value of this M1. So write that. In the system shown in figure, this capacitor is fixed to this ground here. This is the arrangement. It is connected to the ground or the surface. It is fixed to the surface, or mention that it is fixed. In the system shown in figure, A is the area of each plate of the capacitor and M2 is the mass of each plate. M2 is the mass of each plate of the capacitor and Q is the charge on the capacitor. Q is the charge on the capacitor. To keep the plates in equilibrium as shown in figure, find the mass of the block M1 to be suspended. Find the mass of the block M1 to be suspended. And so just now here you can use our just equilibrium conditions here. Like suppose I am taking T is the tension in this string here, right? And so now if you consider the remaining forces, this electrostatic force will be there and this M2G will be there. So on this plate, tension T is acting upwards, weight of this plate, weight is also considered there here. Weight of this plate is acting downwards and this attractive force is acting like this. And now the tension is nothing but here if we consider this tension acting in the string is nothing but M1G. So that means you can write this equation as T is equal to M1G. This is for the block if I consider. This is for the block. For plate if I consider equilibrium of the plate, then T must be equal to M2G plus F. And therefore this M1G is equal to M2G plus that F we need to write here. As a system is isolated system, that Q is the charge on this, that is mentioned there. So as the system is capacitor is isolated, we can use our formula here, so which is Q square by 2A epsilon naught. And therefore this M1 they are asking here, mass of this plate. So M2 plus Q square by 2A epsilon naught into G you can write. So that is the expression for this mass of the block required to keep the system in equilibrium. So if the system is the same problem, they may give like the capacitor is placed on a vertically like this on the plates. So like they will give the same system like this. Right, this plate is one plate is suppose say it is fixed here. And now this plate is connected, this is a movable plate and this plate is connected to this pulley arrangement here. Now same question. Now if the system is like this, it is now fixed plate here. This plate is fixed plate and this other plate is free to move. Then in this case the same expression, that A with the area and Q is the charge. Now what is the mass required here? So that means in this case you need to write this as directly this tension is equal to attractive force here, right? no need of taking the mass of this weight of these plates here, because weight of the plates are balanced by the normal reaction here. So no need of taking that. So only what we can write here is the tension T is nothing but M1G, and this value is equal to that force. Therefore this M1G is equal to Q square by 2A epsilon naught, you can write here. Or from this you can write this M1G value, that means Q square by 2A epsilon naught into G you can write. So that is the difference between those two cases. So you need to identify whether there is a role of mg of the plate is there or not there. So that means if the system is like this, to keep it in equilibrium, then only this, that is a mass required here. If the system is placed like this, then m2g, that means additionally this m2 also we need to consider there. So that is the additional weight required. So weight of the plate is also to be balanced there, right? So observe the case, given case, and answer those such a type of questions. Next here, suppose if I consider another problem like this. So let us note this problem. So let us take the problem now, this when the plates of this capacitor remains connected to this battery here. So those are connected through a switch like this. And so now this is one of the plate is connected to this plate here, right? So one of the plate is connected like this. So this is initially the separation is when the switch S is open, D is a separation between them, and A is the area of this each plate there. So note down that question. So note that question. One plate of the capacitor is fixed. One plate of the capacitor is fixed, and other plate is connected to a spring. Other plate is connected to a spring as shown. A is the area of each plate. A is the area of each plate, and D is the initial separation between them. D is the initial separation between them. When the switch is closed, the separation between the plates becomes 0.8 D. The separation between the plates becomes 0.8 D. Then find the expression for spring constant. Right? So then you can answer this question now easily. Just you need to take the equilibrium here. So that means now the separation between the plates is D when no charge is appearing on this. Once the charge is appearing, the separation is decreasing here. Why the separation decreases means this plate is free. This plate is fixed here. Let us say this plate is fixed plate and this is the free plate here. This plate is free to move. And so that once you switch on the circuit here, then charging of the capacitor will take place. When the charging of capacitor is taking place, this plate is moving up to here. That means this plate reaches to this position here. And so that this is the separation 0.8 D. So that this is positively charged plate. This is positively charged and this is a negative charge here. Right? And so that this spring will extend up to here. And so now here what we can write is an equilibrium. Why it is first of all moving along this direction is this side this attractive force will be there and this side the spring force will be there here. Because now initially spring is in undeformed state and that is also given data only. Initially the spring is in undeformed state. So now once that switch on the circuit, then attractive, because of attractive force, the plate is moving this side, and so the spring undergoes some elongation, and so now there will be some spring force along this direction. And so now in a steady state, the separation is 0.8 D. So in that position, the capacitor is, that plate is in equilibrium because the capacitor is reaching the steady state. So this side this attractive force will be there, this side the spring force will be there. Just you need to balance those two forces here. So we can write this as in equilibrium. So in equilibrium, what we can write here, it is this spring force is equal to the force between those two plates here, the attractive force due to the field. So spring force, we can write this as Kx is equal to, now attractive force between the plates, we can write this as Q square by 2A epsilon naught, right? Now Q means, now we need to substitute that Q value. Just I am writing a general formula, generally we express like this. Now the Q value we need to write here. And can you say what is the X value here? What is the elongation produced in the spring? Initially the spring is in undeformed state. Now when the steady state is reaching, then this is the separation between them. So the elongation of that spring is nothing but the difference between initial and final. So this is the elongation of the spring here, this distance. So this is the elongation of the spring here. So that X value we can write as D minus 0.8 D. So therefore this is D minus 0.8 D. So this is our value. And here this is epsilon naught, that means CV whole square by 2A epsilon naught. Now that C is nothing but epsilon naught A by 0.8 D whole square into V square by 2A epsilon naught. Is it clear? That Q value we are writing it as CV whole square here. Now that C value is epsilon naught A by naught to D. That is important here. It is 0.8 D because once the equilibrium is reached there the separation is 0.8 D only. So that's value we need to consider here. Therefore we can write this expression as K into 0.2 D is equal to epsilon naught 1 epsilon naught A will be cancelled. Epsilon naught A into V square by, and here it is 0.64 D square. And so then K value is epsilon naught A into V square by, this is 0.128 into D cube. That's the general expression for this K value. But generally in the options they will give like in terms of 4 they will give here. I can write this expression as 1 by 4. So this is 1 by 0.128 you need to write here. 1 by 0.128 means approximately you can write this as 8, right? 2 is there, one more 2 is there here. So you will get like this is into 2. So into 2 you will get, then approximately you can take it as, that means 0.256 you will get here. So that approximately we can take it as 4. This is generally that K value will be taken like this. Because it is 0.256 you will get, it can be taken as 0.25 approximately. So that you will get that expression there. That means 4 epsilon naught A into V square by D cube, right? So that is the expression for this. So that means there will be some problems will be there based on the spring. That means there is like a force between the two plates and work done problems. And so that you can solve those problems there. Work done some problems will be there. What I give the expressions like when charge remains constant and when potential difference between the plates remains constant. So solve the problems based on that, right? In the next class, I will introduce about this dielectric, because now in the next class I will introduce the dielectric concept, total dielectric and effect of dielectric, and what are the types of dielectrics I will discuss in our next class, right? Thank you.